Hello, hi, how are you? Welcome on in to another quick take. It's a series of quick takes. It's coming out of this panel that I was very honored to participate in at Iowa State University in conjunction with their First Amendment days. And this panel was on libel law. First Amendment rights, they're under attack in this country, folks. Under attack in this country and also in Belmarsh Prison in London, where Julian Assange resides currently. It couldn't be more important, more significant. I mean, it's kind of what separates America in a lot of ways from the rest of the world. And there is a movement underway to greatly restrict and perhaps censor journalists. And you've heard me talk about that a lot on the show. I want to turn our attention in this quick take to one of the speakers, and you can see him with an overview earlier. But Jeffrey Hunt talked specifically. Now, Jeffrey Hunt, he's a First Amendment and libel expert. He's an attorney. He earned his doctorate from the University of Utah, and he's received a Bachelor of Arts degree in journalism and mass communication from Iowa State University. So they're asking him back now because he's worked with national media organizations, including the Associated Press, CNN, Viacom, CBS, and Fox, in First Amendment rights and protections for those news media organizations. And he really emphasizes during the panel that this is not just a feel-good exercise that we're doing now on the First Amendment and with a panel like this. He's telling us that it's real-world stuff as the country continues to careen to the right. And you've heard me talk about that. And I'm talking about both political parties. But, I mean, it just is moving farther to the right. And they're coming for us, folks. They're coming for whatever source of information you're relying on. And here's our First Amendment lawyer, Jeffrey Hunt, explaining just exactly that.
Now we have two justices on the United States Supreme Court who have expressed a view that Sullivan should be either overruled. That's Justice Thomas. He said that quite clearly, that he believes that Sullivan is inconsistent with his originalist theories of constitutional interpretation. First Amendment provides no limitations on common law torts such as defamation, and therefore Sullivan should be overruled. That's Justice Thomas. Justice Gorsuch, and that view was expressed in a case called McKee versus Cosby, 2019. So that's what 3 years ago, and that was a case where one of Bill Cosby's accusers, who was claimed that she'd been sexually assaulted by Bill Cosby. Cosby denied that, made some statements, and she brought a defamation action against Cosby, and it got thrown out on actual malice grounds. And so Thomas dissented. The case was never heard at the Supreme Court, but they were trying to get it there. And the Supreme Court usually accepts a very, very small percentage of cases. They denied certiorari on that case, but he dissented, and he rolled out this critique of New York Times versus Sullivan on originalist grounds and expressed his view that it should be overruled. And the second one is Justice Gorsuch, just last year in 2021, same sort of circumstances, a case that they were trying to get to the Supreme Court. He had sort of a kind of a meandering dissent from the cert denial, where he didn't outright say that it should be overruled, but he expressed some very serious misgivings about it. He didn't say how he'd come out, but basically his critique was a prudential one. It had nothing really to do with originalism like Thomas. His critique was, yeah, we needed Sullivan back in the 60s when the civil rights protesters were getting hammered on by these Southern juries, and they were hammering the Northern press. But times have changed. We're in a different media ecosystem now. We have the internet that provides, a variety of viewpoints. Everybody's their own publisher. The economics of the industry have changed, and therefore the rationale of Sullivan is no longer valid. All those assumptions, I think, are false. I think he's confusing content. He's confusing platforms with content creators. I mean, Twitter and Facebook, and those are platforms.